Hello from Singapore. Welcome to the Ministry of Guitar YouTube channel. I'm Utkarsh Mohan. Subscribe to us for structured reviews, an unbiased point of view, and an international perspective. For those of you who don't know me that well, I've spent the better part of the last 4 or 5 years working in, living in, and traveling back and forth from Japan. So being a guitar obsessed person like I am, it has ended up in me buying a number of guitars from Japan, such as the Rosewood Telecaster and the Les Paul Custom you see behind me, and generally getting a fair idea of how to get guitars in Japan, how to get good deals, where to go, what to do, without having any knowledge of Japanese. So this series is going to take you through my process of obsessing over and finding great, either great finds or great deals for guitars in Japan. And to begin with, let's start today off with Les Paul Customs. Since Les Paul Custom for me is the flavor of the month, especially with the new Silverburst coming out. All right, so we're going to start off this process with a few essential websites, which is where you get started. Of course, you can travel down to Ochanomizu and you will get great finds, but I generally find that it's easier to structure my search by finding out what's online first. And generally, most of the guitars in Japan are listed online. So this is your resource, DigiMart. It's in Japanese. One overall tip for buying guitars in Japan: do not go to the English versions of the websites. They are incomplete. They don't have all the guitars, and sometimes the prices are different too. So just stick to the Japanese versions. Try and use Google Translate. If you don't know how to use Google Translate, it doesn't work sometimes. You will learn the symbols quick enough. So DigiMart is a quick, good resource. So let's see. So I'm going to look for a Silverburst. Yes, this is so complicated, typing in a search query. But you know, the surprising thing is sometimes things are misspelled. So either you separate out the name or you misspell it, and you might end up on good deals, because remember, English is not a native language for a lot of these sellers, all of these sellers actually. So let's see what we've got going over here. Another way to look at it is to go to individual sellers. So Nico Nico Guitars is a great shop in Shibuya. If you know Shibuya for the crossing, and you know Shibuya for the dog. I'm forgetting his name right now, the statue of the dog. But a short walk from there is this great guitar shop. They have both vintage and regular stuff, so you can look for both. So I'm just going to look into the Gibson custom shop section. All right, let's have a look at what we have over here. Okay, it's already looking promising. I'm going to sort it from high price to low price. I like to do that because you see the nice stuff first, like the really nice stuff which you probably can't afford, but good to know. Woo, this is interesting. Good price as well. So what's the Japan yen now? $110,000, 110 to a dollar. So maybe around $4,000. The other thing to remember for Japan is that you do not necessarily need to pay the tax. I mean, you don't have to pay the tax for most of the sellers. They have tax-free, and you can do tax-free right at the shop itself. You don't need to line up anywhere at the airport. So you can easily deduct 10% from these prices. So this is going to be well under $4,000. This is a 2008, which means it doesn't have a Richlite fretboard for you snobs out there. It has an ebony fretboard. Nice back. I like the customs, the Silverburst that have a burst back instead of those that have a plain back. This is extremely nice. Good price. Let's see who's selling it though. Yes, it's all in Japanese. So what I tend to do is either I Google search the address. If sometimes Google Translate works, it doesn't. So right now it's not working, so it's fine. It's not that difficult. It's not a showstopper. And this is a good tip for those of you who might be going to Japan for the Olympics or something. If you need to figure out where some of these shops are, and I will in future episodes give you some tips on on which shops are easy to deal with, which are not. Okay, this looks like it's Ishibashi Ochanomizu. Okay, so Ochanomizu is the main guitar street. It's famous as Guitar Street. Bunch of shops over there. Ishibashi is a big chain. They have multiple shops. They have multiple shops in Tokyo. They have shops in Osaka. They have shops in everywhere, all over Japan. So reputed seller, so you can't go wrong. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go to the Ishibashi website, which is here. I'm going to see if I can try and find this there. So guitars that are listed on DigiMart are also listed on the individual websites of the sellers. So let's have a look over here. I didn't separate the silver and burst. Hopefully that's okay. Okay, so there's another Silverburst here, different one. Let's just open this, but let me see if I just separate out the burst. Oops, what's wrong with my fingers? Screw that. So, and see if I can find this one. I really like this though. I wish I had a trip to Japan coming up. So the last 1 year I was living 50% of the time in Singapore, 50% in Japan. So I had ample opportunity. Oh, sorry, this is not Ishibashi. My apologies. It's not. You know how I know? I just read this over here. This is Kurosawa Gaki. Kurosawa Gaki is another great shop. They're located right next to Ishibashi, actually, on just at the beginning of Ochanomizu Street. They have 5 floors. Each floor is amazing. There's a Gibson floor, there's a Fender floor, there's a metal guitar floor. It's just amazing, which has amazing ESPs and stuff like that. I cannot recommend that shop enough. So if you are going down to Japan, if you want the Silverburst, this is definitely way cheaper than what you're gonna get for the new signature. But yeah, I like this. Okay, so we started off with a strong one. Let's see what else have we got. What if you want it on a budget? Well, the slim pickings, I think this is the same one as the one we saw for Ishibashi. Let's have a look at this one. Gods of internet, please not be that slow on me. Okay, another good one. It's got the same, the 59 style case. I really like that. Looks like it's in great condition. That's the other thing about Japan, guys. The condition of guitars, used guitars, are either very good, and if they're not very good, they are classified for what they are. You are not going to get stiffed by someone who claims that the guitar is a certain condition and it's not. They will be very apologetic to you if a guitar is not in great condition, and the price will reflect that. Yes, so this is the same as the Ishibashi guitar that I showed you earlier. So this is a solid price, less than 300 to 2,000 yen, which means after tax, if you remove 300, 30,000 to 270,000 yen, $2,500 for what is almost certainly going to be a pristine condition Silverburst. Question though is which ear, and does this have an ebony or rich light fretboard? That does have an implication on the value. Let me see if I can figure it out. Probably the serial number will tell you. My suspicion, I'm not the biggest expert, but my suspicion is this has a rich light. It's a 2016, there we go. Rich light fretboard, so that's why it's so cheap. It's not the ebony fretboard one. Okay, so we found 2 candidates. Ooh, this is great, it's sold though. This is an actual, so I actually saw one of these, I almost bought one of them about 6 months ago. A Silverburst that has turned green, and the funny thing is there was another guitar in another shop called Ochanomizu's World's Finest Guitars, which is like Ishibashi's boutique. They had a relic, so I don't like relic guitars, but they had relic a Silverburst to make it green. It was pretty cheap for a custom shop guitar. It was on crazy sale. I think it was less than $3,500 US. So I almost got that, but then I got the black one instead. My black. I'm just going to show that for a second. I got this one instead. And I got this from Osaka, a different city. Would I have liked the Silverburst? Yes, but this just looks so mean. And then the Silverburst, there is a guy who's famous for Silverburst. This can be my own, so that's why I got this. So back to this. So this is from '78. It's a great price. Unfortunately, it's sold, but we'll come back to this. We'll try and see if we can find others. Let's go and look at my other shop, Nico Nico Guitars. What do you have for me? You have a nice black custom shop, but it's sold. Let's see if you have anything in vintage though. I got my Rosewood Telecaster from these guys. Great guitar. They have the 2550, couple of them. In fact, they've had a couple of 2550s. I think 2550 has been fairly popular in Japan. I have played this guitar. It's been sitting there for more than a year. Let's go to Gibson custom shop portion of it. Okay, nothing over here. 2007 historic. Hey, this is a very good guitar. That not a Silverburst. It's kind of silver. Well, it's more gray. Trans black burst rather. So Tak Matsumoto is a Japanese guitarist. You might have heard of him, and this is one of the coolest Firebirds there is. And it's a great price, right? $245,000 after tax. So This means that whenever this loads, so Nico Nico's website can be a bit troublesome, so we'll just give it a bit more time to load. So this is a rock machine. It's got Seymour Duncan, if I'm not mistaken. It's still neck through, as you can see, and yeah, and it's at a great price, and it's custom shop at the end of the day. So I cannot highly recommend this enough. Okay, what else do we have? Nico Nico guitars. We have a historic Firebird 7, that's good. Firebird 5, sorry. Another historic 1957 Les Paul. You know, the old historics don't really interest me so much because I don't want the historically accurate small frets. That's a cool one. There's a custom shop Mick Jones style. I wonder whether it has small frets or not, but that's another one worth considering. Hopefully their website is working. Okay, so they are showing us this guitar. That's great. Ooh, aged rather nicely. Not much into aged guitars, but I can appreciate this, and seems to have some mini switches going on. I don't know what those do. Heavy beast though, 4.69 kg. Still. Tak Matsumoto, have you loaded? You have loaded, thank you. So, pretty light at 3 kgs. Beautiful, beautiful looking guitar. Les Paul headstock. So it's kind of funny, it's the opposite of another guitar I bought in Japan. So I have a Bonnebird, which is a Les Paul shape with a Firebird headstock. This is the opposite. So I rather wanted to get this guitar so I could have a Les Paul with a Firebird headstock and a Firebird with a Les Paul headstock, and I love both guitars, but it's what it is. Not to be, and I have exhausted my guitar buying budget for some time. So this is a cool one. So, but not the Les Paul Customs Silverburst that you're looking for. Then another 3 pickup Les Paul Custom. That's Ace Frehley Budokan. I have no idea why those are so expensive, but hey, different things for different people. This Billy Gibbons thing has been there in the shop for, I would say for at least 1.5 years. It was there when I first went to the shop. Okay, so overall, I think we do have a couple of cool finds. I like the Tak Matsumoto. I highly recommend, if you're going to Japan, pick one of these up. I highly recommend it. I've played it also, I forgot to mention, it's quite nice. I'm a Firebird fan anyway, but this is quite nice. But what for me is the find for today is basically the first guitar that we saw. It's located, is easy to find, so if you're going to Tokyo, you just need to go pop down. It's a couple of stops, Ochanomizu Station from Tokyo Station, not very far, or you take a cab down. It's going to be very easy to find, and this is a beautiful guitar, and it is unique. 3 pickup customs are always special. Okay, so I hope this was fun. Tell me if you like this. Tell me if you want to look for a specific model. I generally am better informed about Gibsons and PRSs, but nothing stops me from looking for others. And yeah, I'm always happy to help if you want to understand more about how to buy guitars from Japan and what to do, what to expect in the store. I will make a video about this eventually, like a complete buyer's guide, but for now I hope this suffices. All right, till next time, take care.